dang it.
Well, and why? Do you remember what Tony said in that situation?
Jody deserves it.
Well, not only did he say that, but he said she's going to run. This is the car owner. This is her dad. Said she's going to run the heat race because if she's going to be a champion, this is how she's going to do it. She's going to earn it. Yep. She's not going to take the easy way out. She's not going to steal it from Jody. They're going to race for it, and ultimately she won it.
Well, and I think about going back when I was hanging around the pits is how many guys were we seeing scratching from the trophy dash to preserve their cars?
Well, that's something we've seen. Bob Jeffrey was a prime example of that. I mean, fast time almost every week and sit it out because that's 4 more laps. You got to, for what? There's no championship points on the line. You're in there for
now it's 4 points.
Well, now it's 4 points.
Yeah.
And if you go out and win 10 trophy dashes, which we've seen drivers do, that's 40 points. That's an A main right there.
Yep, absolutely.
That can be a game changer. Just those 4 little points.
Yeah, got a whole new twist on things.
It does. You know what? I kind of like that deal.
There's obviously been some thought going into this.
Man, it is just going nuts.
Colin hits us up and says, "Elbows up, boys. Finally, the changes Willamette has needed for years. We aren't in 1990 anymore."
Who's this?
Colin.
Yeah.
I can tell you in the 1990s, we had some pretty awesome racing at Wilamette Speedway where passing points decided championships. I'm not against...
Can you put that up there? By any chance? Can you do
we don't have that on there yet.
That's cool.
But
okay, anyway.
So Todd says no more qualifying. Yes, there is qualifying. But here's what the interesting verbiage was: hot laps / qualifying will be done in groups by division. Late models go out last every week. Late model groups will be based off a pill draw. Fastest 4 out of each division will earn championship points. So, yes, qualifying does matter in the fact that it can get you into that trophy dash to earn those 4 championship points.
Well, you're going to get 1 anyway, at the very worst.
If you get to the dash.
If you get in the dash.
That 1 point could be everything at the end of the
season. When there's only 40 points to win the main.
Exactly.
And
that 1 or 4 points is quite a bit.
And 1 point between first and second at the end of the night.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, hello.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to make
this is going to
tighter
make
points.
I agree with Colin. Every lap counts.
Yep.
Sure does. Yes. Yes. Chris Frisbee says timed during hot laps. Yes, we're going to put you on the clocks in hot lap, and the top 4 from each class will run your trophy dash. That's going to set you up for those championship points in the dash. So qualifying does matter.
We can't repeat that one.
We'll just let the people on the Swears Check and chat line read that one for themselves.
Oh, boy.
Let's just say Colin probably has a smile on his face. But
oh, geez.
I thought, when Jerry sent this to us, I thought, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, to only have 40 points to win and step it down 1 point per position, I thought you would have seen, maybe 2, maybe 3 points from first to second, just to have a gap there. But this is going to keep things so tight in the championship hunt for the entire season, unless one guy comes out and just pulls a Bob Jeffrey or a Dittman or a Glacier and goes out and wins 15,
everything.
18 races.
Well, I think we're down to about 16 now.
You got my point. You know what I was saying. Even then, it's still going to keep things.
That's funny because I was going to say what that person said, and I had to let it go.
It's just that whole thing's just started a whole new subcategory in that chat line.
Word.
Man. Anyway, what do you guys really think about this? I mean, it's different.
It's definitely different. I like the like Jeremy piped in there and brought a point to our attention that we hadn't even thought of. Mm-hmm. So I think what matters is what the drivers think here.
Ultimately, yes.
Because I'm not real familiar with it, with the way it was or with the way it is. I don't know about the passing points. I'm not really qualified to give it.
Well, last year I don't think passing points were even awarded.
Oh, they weren't?
No.
Oh.
But traditionally at Wilamette Speedway they were, and yes, it has affected who walked out of there with a championship.
Right.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to hear from some more drivers, what they think about it.
Because we're in a new generation here. We've got these new drivers. We've got Colin Weinberg, we've got Joey Tanner. We've got these young drivers where this is kind of their norm.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you ask guys like Bob Boyd, Randy Boyd, Russ Sell, Tom Wagner, Bob Jeffrey, Darren Koffel, they're like, what? No passing points?
Yeah.
I mean, when those guys scored passing points, when you start 16th in the field and win the feature, that's 30 passing points every week.
Which could cause a guy to balloon foot and start in the back to get those passing points.
Well, you had fast time started in the back.
Right.
Okay, so...
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So if you qualified fast time,
that was back in the
invert,
day.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of,
Oh, my gosh. Here's the thing about this is going to make it more exciting. Yeah.
Ooh, Joey Tanner.
Yeah, that.
What'd he say?
Shots fired.
Shots fired in the Swears Trucking chat line.
That's going to be
says,
good.
You better put your cape on, Superman.
Oh, boy.
Let the verbal kung fu games begin.
I'm going to put a sticker of Lex Luthor on Joey's car.
Well, we don't want to start throwing Superman stickers on cars because there's a little bit of an issue in Speed Week last year with a certain kryptonite.
Who had the kryptonite? Oh, yes.
But anyways,
but you know what? I love seeing that kind of stuff. It's all part of the rivalry.
It is.
And Joey and Colin.
Oh yeah,
it's all in fun.
Yeah. Joey and Colin are basically Siamese twins.
Basically.
Yeah.
Except they look different.
Yeah.
And drive different.
I don't know about that.
They're the same, only different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going back to our deal here, I honestly think this is going to make a more exciting show for the fans in the fact that you're going to have every lap and every position counting.
Well, no doubt.
There are no.
Well, and it's not just.
There are no more free laps at Willamette Speedway. Every lap counts for something, which I think is a good idea because you'd see people sit out heat races. You'd see people pull off during heat races. You'd see people scratch from the trophy dash. If it doesn't count, why run it? It's costing you money. I mean, when you're talking $7-8 a gallon for late model fuel, they're running a lap a gallon.
Well, and here's the thing too. Back then, trophy dashes.
No points.
No money, no points.
No,
a gallon of
trophy.
fuel. A gallon of fuel will cost more than the trophy you won.
Yeah.
I mean, and you burn a gallon back then in 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah.
So this is going to be an interesting deal. I think I'm excited to see this. What do we got going on here?
Shots fired from Chris Frisbee.
Comparing Colin and Joey, Chris says, one is half the size of the other. How are they the same? Well, I'll tell you how they're both the same. They're both young. They're both very talented and fast as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
what I was referring to.
Yeah, absolutely.
They both run 525s. They both run late models. And
so there, Chris.
Yeah.
They both have nicknames with man in it.
They do. Superman and the Man-Child. Joey, I'm sorry. You put it on your shirts, man.
And on your race car.
He does, but I don't think he's going to be doing that. I
No,
think
it's on there.
Is it? Because I thought he was getting away from that.
No, it's on there.
All right. We still love you, Joey.
We do.
Congrats on the win, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Cottage Grove.
I saw the first lap where Joey took the lead, and he checked out and left everybody to race for second.
And Dan Dybel,
I heard
Dan
Joey
Dybel
was the only car on the lead lap.
No.
I think I heard there was 3 cars.
3.
Oh, was there?
Again, I
Okay.
wasn't
It
there.
was,
I shouldn't even be talking
I
about
shouldn't
this.
either, but
Oh, gosh.
Joel was. Let's get the expert opinion here.
It was Manchild, Dybel, and Mike George were the only ones on the lead lap.
Wow.
And it literally looked like there was about a 50-foot tow rope between Manchild and Dybel.
Wow.
They checked out and were coming up on Mike George.
And he was in third.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting because Dan Dybel, I think, is
He's
going to be somebody we're going to watch this year.
I think so.
And
He was
for multiple reasons.
Well, he was so fast last year at the beginning of the year, and not just in the Super Sport, but in the late model. He was stepping his game up, and I think he's going to be somebody we can watch this year, and he'll definitely provide some fireworks.
I think so.
Yes,
he is fun
will.
to watch.
It was actually a really good race to watch. Those guys, once they cleared traffic, they checked out. They started on the second row, side by side. Joey on the outside, Dan on the inside. Joey took the lead coming out of 2 on the lead lap, and oh my word! Once those 2 guys broke out of traffic, it looked like there was a 50-foot tow rope between the 2 of them.
Here's the thing: I got to give Joey props. Joey got on Facebook, said, "Hey, I'm going to Grove. I'm unloading to win." I mean, Joey is that's what I kind of like.
And there was your
I like us about Joey because Joey will get out there and say, "Hey, this is what it is. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do."
And that was a 525 versus open battle.
And he backed it up. He backed it up.
Yes, he did.
You know, so props to him, and you can always count on some excitement from Joey Tanner as well. So
yes, you can.
Always fun to watch these young guys coming up, and I think we're going to be in for something at Willamette Speedway with this new format, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, if we ever get it going, it's going to be great.
We are coming up
Saturday.
We're coming up on the
half hour.
Well, yeah, and what's next is our Highoctane Diecast Hot Pit debut.
Right on.
So what we're going to do is get ready to do that with our first guest on this is going to be Patrick Desbians.
Oh, boy.
He's got some things to talk about. Now, listen, here's the thing. This whole thing here, the hot pit, came as an idea that we had been talking about doing something like this on the show. When someone steps up and says, hey, Highoctane Diecast steps up and says, hey, I want to sponsor a segment. How can I be a sponsor of a segment on the show? Interesting you ask, Paul. Here's what we're thinking. This whole segment, okay, is meant to get your, whoever it is, to get there. Oh, God. We're in trouble.
Oh, boy.
This segment is going to be a little bit different. Is it going to be controversial? Yes. Is it meant to be controversial? In a sense. We're going to get your raw emotions. You want something to talk about? You want to voice your opinion on something? We're going to turn you loose.
Let's have it. Yeah.
And Patrick Desbians has got a couple issues we're going to talk about tonight that I think are legit. And I think it's going to be a great way.
Well, and if anybody was at Cottage Grove this weekend and knew what happened,
exactly,
this is going to be one to watch, folks. There was a lot of raw emotion. There's a lot of controversy. There's a whole
controversy. Dirt track racing.
Never. There's a whole gamut of things that are going to fly out here during our first Highoctane Diecast Hot Pit session here on Northwest Dirt News. And I'm glad we've got a referee in the house.
We do.
Well, he showed up just in time with a black and white striped shirt even. I don't know where he came from, but he's here, Mr. Buzz Mitchell. Patrick Desbians, going back to what happened. He's going to talk about that. Now, I did have a conversation with him on the phone. This dude is a class act. He could have been irate. He could have been cussing and screaming and talking about this and that and how he wanted to knock somebody out, which a lot of people probably would have been saying that exact same thing.
I would have, no doubt.
I'm not going to lie. I probably would have got out and handled business right there at the track. This dude he's got a cool head on his shoulders. Okay,
mm-hmm.
He talked about it and he stepped up and said, "Hey, look, I understand things happen. I'm not happy about it."
Corey, you better watch how you talk there. You know, there's a lot of kids out there that look up to you.
I don't know. Well, sorry for those kids. I think that, you know, his emotions are. He did a good job of keeping them in check, better than I would have, better than I think anybody in this room,
mm-hmm.
including Buzz Mitchell, would have. Buzz would have been throwing corn cobs at people.
Are corn cobs aluminum and cylindrical?
His are. So
it's always nice to have Buzz in the studio.
Oh yeah, he comes in and he kicks over there on the lazy boy recliner, and you know he's just out here to have a good time, talk racing.
He knows where the fun is.
Yeah.
Out in the lobby, yeah.
So it's certainly not back there in that studio. So we're gonna, you know, and the thing about this hot pit thing, that he's gonna touch on two subjects here, and I'm gonna let him introduce the second one because it's gonna be controversial.
Perfect.
It is, and I understand why he's touching on it. It's gruesome. It is. It's graphic.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
It does, but he is livid. When I was talking to him on the phone last night, this wasn't even what I called him about. I was talking about the other situation we just talked about.
Call from.
Get to 2. 2.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Hit the wrong button.
Nope. Patrick, are you there?
Yeah, hey.
Patrick Desbians, welcome to Northwest Dirt News and the Highoctane Diecast Hot Pit segment. we had a conversation last night on the phone, and we were kind of talking about it here just a minute ago, kind of giving the listeners an idea of where you're going to go.